I was using one of our leftover animations for opening because I'm trying to get the most mileage out of that stuff we spent money on. So that's the one from the last 4 episodes we've done because we quit our subscription to Render Force because we don't have enough money to just blow on anything we want to.
Which is why people should subscribe to our Patreon.
Yes.
Or anything. So hi, my name is Michael Henderson Dorland. I'm in charge of the Cult of Brighter Days. These are the Council of the Cult of Brighter Days, Dr. Jess, Step Pope Richard, and Bishop Sarah. And the youth of America has decided to forego this installation. Installment.
Poor babies.
Yeah, I think we mentioned State of the Union address to them, and they
snoozed out.
Did like most Gen Z and didn't know what we were talking about.
Or did know what we were talking about and had a very rational reaction. I completely get it.
Or decided to go listen to the podcasts about it instead of listening to us talk about it because they're more relevant than us, I guess. So anyway.
Well, they're less familiar than we are.
It's true.
It might be. They probably hear us talk about this kind of stuff over and over since the powers that be are so predictable.
And that's why you can come up with all of the bingo cards that are floating around tonight. So.
Are there a bunch of bingo cards floating around tonight?
There are. I've seen 2 of them on my feed today.
Let's see if I can find a bingo card out there. You got a good bingo card to share?
No, not right off the bat. But I saw one that was like the easiest words that you could possibly get. So you were definitely going to get bingo within the first 5 minutes. Like it was hugely and bigly. And
I found the one for the League of Women Voters.
Oh, yeah?
USA Today's got one.
Yeah, I saw USA Today even had one and everything. Here, we can look at
the problem with this bingo card is we would have to actually watch the State of the Union.
Yeah, and I don't think there's no way I'm going to break my streak of never having watched a State of the Union address.
I think I turned it on when Obama was president for like 3 whole minutes.
I know I had to watch one in high school civics, but like that was.
I think it was one of the kids' classes. Like
I think I've watched like 7 or 8 of them, but I think I'm only lasted like for the first 5 minutes of each of them before I was like, this is just BS. That goes for the ones I voted for too. It's just like.
I have watched a few. I don't remember how many. I probably more often don't watch and let somebody with degrees in the area or a job that pays them to sit and analyze stuff watch it for me and then digest it into something that matters.
That's not always as accurate. It's not always a good take on that one. I was surprised was the hockey player and Kash Patel this week and the president's invitation to the State of the Union. And one thing that Parkrose Permaculture pointed out, and a couple other people I follow pointed out, was the fact that, it was really bad that Trump acted like that on the phone, and Kash Patel doing what he did was completely embarrassing to anybody who is a chief of police in any country. But the fact that the guys in the hockey team didn't stand up for any of the other athletes or the women against him was telling in so many ways. And then when you watch Colbert the other night and you watch Jimmy Kimmel, who I follow all the time, they never brought up the big deal about how the hockey guys laughed along with Trump at the women hockey players. The fact that the men's hockey league was fine laughing about having to invite the women instead of standing up to Trump and saying, hey, look, dude, that's sort of crappy. But then again, you can get at least Colbert and Kimmel cover all the major points and still made a point of Kash Patel spending a ton of our money going out there. It's just they don't cover everything, you know?
Nobody can cover everything, Michael.
No, but
24 hours of nonsense.
True,
And
true. And
we've
Jimmy
got-
and Steven are guys, so they don't want to, like, ruffle the feathers of guys, I'm sure.
Well, and they also have a mandate to be funny.
yeah.
And not everything that happens has that capability.
I suppose. I find it sort of funny that the guy has acted that way on the phone. If you watch it, did you guys watch the video?
I watched the video, and I'm sorry, it's just a bunch of dumb jocks being dumb jocks. So
Yeah, but we elevate them to this position where there's so much. Okay, I'm same position I have with ranchers. Just step over here right now.
yeah, we need to celebrate the victories of all of our Olympians, all the gold that we won. Celebrate the women who replied to their reluctant invitation to the White House with grace.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm sorry,
out
sir,
we're
but we
busy
have to
that
wash
day.
our
Sorry.
hair. We'll
Yeah.
be washing our hair that night.
I'm pretty sure we're busy that day. We didn't tell you what day it was. Yes.
Yeah, I'm busy.
I
Jam-packed.
think
Applaud the women for that.
I would have more respect for the men if the men would have gone along and consolidated with everybody else and said, no, we're not going to go either. The funny thing was, if you watch an interview with the guys, the male hockey team, after that phone call, before the video got released, when they were leaving, they were asking, well, what do you think about it? And they're like, yeah, it was really nice Trump called us, and it was an honor for him to call us, and but it's an honor for us to be here and do anything like that. And they kept trying to get off of.
Change the subject.
At the same time, one of them was asking for another beer too during the conference.
Yeah, they were celebrating at that moment. They were a little.
That would have been funny if they would have lost and the women would have won. I would have liked to see that.
You mean like
That
how
would
it's
have
been lately?
Yeah, I would.
Considering the men and the women have the exact same number of gold medals in hockey, and yet women have only been playing hockey since '98.
We don't talk about that though.
I'm
The
just
men
saying.
haven't won a gold in hockey since the Miracle on Ice in 1980.
Really?
Yep. This is the first American hockey gold medal
For the men.
for the men.
Going back to that topic. Gas
Well,
prices.
I mean,
does anybody
gas
even talk
prices will
about
be on
gas
there.
prices anymore? Do you think so?
Yeah, because gas prices are down, so he's gonna bring that up.
They're not very down here.
That's my question. Like everybody says, oh, gas prices going down. What is it, like 30 cents a gallon they went down and it's a big deal?
Well, it's the
Come
same
on,
with like the Bondi with the
prices?
whole but the Dow is over. The Dow is up, so we don't have to talk about these women that are sitting behind me.
Let's
Distraction
see.
from our discussion from several weeks ago now.
I was going to check to see if both of you guys have your birth certificates available for the SAVE Act election.
My
Well,
birth certificate, my marriage certificate, all
Yeah.
the proof that I've changed my last name from its original.
They're going to say that, yeah, you have a passport in that name, but that still doesn't prove you are a citizen. Did you hear what the big thing was they want to do now with the SAVE Act? That they're going to have it so that every state has to send their voter rolls to DC and go through their system so that DC can prune each state's voter rolls.
Yeah. They've been trying to do that
Mhm.
state by state and not getting a lot of cooperation from anybody other than the people that were going to cooperate it anyway.
Yeah.
So so I understand why they're trying to make a law.
Yeah. Yeah. Still, that law would violate the state's rights to run their own elections. So, but I guess if the next election's tied up in court, we can't have it, right?
Nope. It's
Yes,
not
let's
right.
see.
We have elections even during war.
Mhm.
Well, the funny thing is if they did manage to stop the election, say they did manage to make it so we couldn't vote and everything was all tangled up, somebody pointed out was just because we didn't have an election doesn't mean that everybody who was up for election just keeps in their seat and keeps doing what they're doing. Everybody's terms end whether there's an election or not. And Republicans are not thinking things through all the way. I don't think some Democrats are either, but they're not thinking things through all the way in the sense of like all this redistricting actually caused them more damage when Texas ran around and redistricted and all this other stuff, and they ran around so that they could get more seats based on the idea that they were going to keep the people that voted them in the presidential election were going to vote the same way. What did they say? They managed to take 5 solid seats and turn them into 10 contested districts instead of turning them into 8 solid districts.
Yeah.
So
I've seen that described as a dummy mander.
Yeah, there's a lot of dummy mandering. A lot of dummy mandering going on.
Are we considering the fact that the people who voted for Trump would reconsider this time? I don't necessarily think that.
Well, what they're thinking is that they're making assumptions about what the electorate's going to be like and saying, well, we've got all these R plus 14 districts or R plus 10 districts. We can probably get by with an R plus 7 district instead. And that way we can spread the Republicans around some and dilute the Democrats more so that we can take away some of those seats. But if you spread out all the Republicans and make the election closer, and you see swings like in the Texas Senate district where it went from plus 17 Trump to plus 15 Democrat, 32-point swing. If that 32-point swing is the norm, then all those R plus 7 districts are going to go by the wayside.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense if the people who were on the fence would swing Democrat, but I mean, I don't know. A lot of people who voted for Trump last time would vote for him again.
Well, one of the things that I saw discussed with regard to Texas was that they assumed that Latinos would go for Republicans at the same rate that they went for Trump. But things have changed in the last year, as you may have heard, with respect to how the government doesn't respect people who, have brown skin and speak Spanish.
Do we actually have you seen numbers on that? Because my experience, my firsthand experience talking to people has been different.
I don't have any numbers, and it's pretty speculative, actually. But it's plausible.
My experience is, because I have several Latino families that I work with, that they are supportive, or at least they don't care about what ICE is doing because they got in the country the right way, and all of those people deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
so that's definitely a thing.
That's also the problem with those people, is that they haven't been in an environment like Minneapolis where they didn't care whether you went in the right way or not. They just pulled you. They've done that down here a little bit, but not to the extent they did up there, and not to the extent that they're starting to do. So in another 6 months, when we start seeing people down here being pulled aside just like they are up there, when it doesn't matter if you got in the right way or not, maybe they'll change their vote a little bit. But that goes back to one of the big problems of all this stuff, is that people like that don't care about anything until it impacts them personally. And then they worry about it. And then when something happens to them based on it, they cry like babies because they're not being treated right or something.
Well, it goes back to the whole, they took away the da-da-dots and I didn't care. And then they took away the da-da-dots and I didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. It's people. It's just people in general. They can't see outside their house. They can't see outside their family. They can't see it outside their church. No.
But there's not a lot of power that you have outside of those areas.
No, but you can be aware of what's happening at the building across the street. And if it's burning down, you can make sure that the flaming brands don't fall onto your house. And maybe you can go over there and throw some water on it, Or maybe you can, point out, hey, everybody in the neighborhood, this house is on fire. Maybe people should do something. You know, awareness that's the thing. When you have people, they're not, I guess the families you're talking about are aware, but they're not really aware. They don't really understand. Or is it just a simple fact? Maybe it's just a simple fact that humans as a species just are not down with nuance in any way, shape, or form.
Well, and it's also true that where there's been surges, everything has been worse. And so it's a lot easier for people in Chicago, or maybe more appropriately, DC and Atlanta or LA and Minneapolis, to see all the chaos with their own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And examples of US citizens being picked up because they have brown skin and speak Spanish, with no real attempt to check beforehand because they don't actually believe in due process. And so the more that kind of thing spreads around, the more they do that in more places, the more difficult it is for people to self-blind or ignore or just be unaware. As the administration makes more effort to spread that kind of nonsense around, the more likely it is that other people are going to say, hey, wait a minute, I'm a citizen. I've been a citizen my whole life because I was born here. So
yeah,
there's a lot of variables involved, is what I'm saying.
Tied to being humans, because humans just sort of suck. I mean, yeah, that's the biggest variable. Well, I mean, like, have you looked at any of the statistics on these places that are keeping these people? They have no tracking of how many deaths are happening there. They have serious issues.
no window.
Seriously, you can say concentration camp and it's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we have concentration camps in this country now.
Again.
Well, again, yes, okay, again. And actually, I think they're probably worse conditions than those were from what I've read in history. In terms of the number of, I mean, at least they weren't caged as much as these people are, from what I understand. The number of people per square feet and everything, which is ridiculous. And then it says, as early 2026 polling shows that about 2% of Trump voters say they had regretted their vote and would choose differently. But a broader 26% of Trump voters have at least some concern about their vote, with a small subset of the group expressing outright regret. Other surveys and focus groups suggest that nearly 1 in 6, about 16 to 17% of Trump voters regret the choices or are disappointed with him. So when you think about that, 16 to 17% of Trump voters regret it, which means that since it's only Trump voters were 1/3 of the people who voted in the election, which was 1/3 of the people who could vote in this country. So 16% of the 1/6 of the country that got us into this situation regret it. Maybe it includes your dad. I mean, no, your dad didn't vote, I know. No, he voted this time. I
think he did.
Yeah. I personally, I blame
the Trump voter that I spoke with recently, adamantly said that he didn't regret it, that he would still vote for Trump if the election were today, because Kamala was not a leader. Then we had a long discussion about empathy.
How many bankruptcies? How many times?
Long
discussion about empathy. That's where I went with it instead of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go empathy. I would go lack of. I mean, I guess what you determine as leadership. I mean, let's see, skipping out on the Vietnam War, taking somebody's Purple Heart, taking somebody's Nobel Peace Prize. Oh, yeah. Literally, everybody saw him take the Purple Heart, and everybody saw him take the Nobel Peace Prize.
That's not what MAGA sees. That's not the people who are diehard are diehard. Mm-hmm. They don't believe that.
Yeah, a lot of them don't believe the Earth's round either, from what I understand. So, and I'm not punching down or anything at that one. That's just sort of how it sits. Flat.
Yeah, and that birds aren't real.
And that bird, no, that's a. Actually, you want to blame somebody. It's that group that got him in office. Thank you, you young male Gen Zers. Oh, birds aren't real. Ha 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 ha. Let's put Trump in office. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, how well did that work out for you, kid? Speaking of war coming up, Iran.
Iran.
Or Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico scared me this weekend. Did you guys see that?
Didn't you go to Puerto Vallarta last?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
I
see what
didn't see
happened
it.
down there?
No.
You
Were you?
didn't-
Did you feel safe when you were there?
Yeah, it was fine. It was safe.
Yeah. Every time I've gone to Mexico, I've felt safe.
Not this weekend. No.
What happened this weekend?
One of the major drug cartel lords was taken out.
By the Mexican government.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which
then.
caused mass chaos.
And
Mass
threats
destruction.
against Americans and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Fires
I don't think they've got it totally straightened up down there either.
No, the Americans are still locked up in their hotel rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the airport's
So-
opened back up. I'm not sure.
San Antonio shut their airspace down, 2 weeks ago for
El Paso,
They're-
was it?
they were
El
was
Paso.
it El Paso?
Yeah, much
Yeah.
closer to us.
Someplace in
Over
Texas.
a balloon, Mylar balloon.
No, I thought it was a drone.
I thought it was a balloon.
they thought it was a drone and it turned out to be a balloon.
Well, they got to sneak that fentanyl into this country somehow, since all those boats are being shut down, ferrying it across the Gulf of whatever you want to call it this week.
Mexico. It's called the Gulf of Mexico.
I'm not going to
Man.
say that because I'm sure this broadcast is being monitored, and I have no desire to wind up on any more lists than I already am on.
Make sure that that's not on the clips that you put out there, Jessica.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will try not to.
I don't want to get targeted.
I mean, as we already have a big red dot pointed on our back, I'm sure, just from being nice. That's like counterculture right there. Be nice. Oh, urban terrorism. Be kind.
Oh, we're such a threat. Out
Tell
here
people
trying to
to-
be kind, spread kindness and humor.
Yeah. Well, because I don't even know what to say. We're riveting
So-
in terms of.
Going back to our bingo cards that we're
Oh,
not going to
yeah.
have claim
Yeah.
because
The one that gets me is the fact that it says beautiful to every sentence. When do you get a fill in that space? If it says, if one of the things is beautiful to every sentence,
Hmm.
do you have
do
to
they mean
have
like
it on?
coherent? Like,
No, like whenever he uses the word beautiful. The
Oh,
big,
okay.
beautiful bill, the beautiful tariffs, the beautiful, I guess maybe they should have says three.
well, he talks about the first lady's butt too, so that's beautiful.
Is it? I don't
I've
know.
never seen her.
You haven't seen her? Russians had some really nice nudes of it that they put up
Yeah,
on
but I
their
don't see-
news channel. Yeah,
Mhm.
the Russians did that on their normal news broadcasts. Let's just show naked pictures of the first lady. That's how you garner respect.
I mean, he can talk about the huge ratings that her movies not
Did
getting.
he say that? I heard
I thought it was
he
like
said
number
that.
one and the hugest blockbuster. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not.
Did you ever
One of
see
his
that-
ramblings lately, he was talking about how it was the best one.
Did you ever watch James Bond Diamonds Are Forever?
I don't know.
I just got done watching again. It's very
my spouse,
similar.
my spouse makes me watch a lot of James Bond, but I don't really distinguish
Pay
them from
attention.
each other.
Yeah.
I say Wilbur White, who has the White House in Vegas, the hotel, has been vanished from being seen, but he's still making all these calls. But it's actually Blofeld who's posing as him, and they've got Wilbur
Mhm.
White locked away in his mansion and everything, not able to talk to anybody else really. And I keep thinking, wow, they probably just did that with Trump. They just like stick him in a room and he knows nothing except for what they tell him. So
Which
in
is
his
why his
mind,
ratings are so wonderful.
yeah,
Beautiful.
ratings.
We'll go back to the beautiful word. It's got the beautiful ratings. Everybody loves
Yeah.
him.
He said that he didn't have approval ratings as low as 40%, and it was a lie. Because his approval ratings are at 34%.
Isn't it lower than that right now?
Yeah. Surprisingly, he's not the lowest ratings out of any president. Harry Truman has the lowest ratings of a president at 22% in February 1952. George W. Bush in 2008 had it at 25%. Richard Nixon had it at 24% from July to August of 74. Jimmy Carter had it at 28% for July of 79, and Gerald Ford had it at 37% for March of 1975. So, Jimmy, Nixon, W. Bush, and Truman are still rated lower than Trump. Ronald Reagan had a 35% approval rating in 1983. Did you know that?
Why did his approval rating get done?
What was going on in 83?
I don't know, but he won the 84 election. So,
yeah.
Let's see.
But all of those dips in presidential ratings, those were all, for the most part, temporary.
Well, yeah, I don't think. Well, this is temporary.
W kept going
down
and down.
This is still temporary for Trump. I'm sure it's going to go down further. So the stop at 34 is just before the next stop at a little bit lower. His rating hit a low in 35% early because of the severe economic recession. And then the economy began to recover.
So since none of us are watching the State of the Union tonight, what else do we want to talk about tonight?
I want to talk about what we're doing here, keeping the lights on type thing, because Dr. Jess brought this up and we were talking about it, and having the kid here is great. I really like having the kids around because then we actually can have a discussion about, generational talks and everything like that. And it's good to get a different viewpoint from that. And today we have a good topic because we have the State of the Union and everything like that. But overall, as the cult, we've been having a little bit of a hard time keeping things, functioning outside of the lack of the pool and the daiquiris, or the margaritas, so to speak. It's coming up on time for the pool heater to get turned on and the margarita maker to come out of the mothballs. So we can go to a fun-loving summer event, but we should probably think about a little bit more about what we do during the winter and how we do things. Now, we have been trying to work with the store in town to create meetups and everything like that. They haven't been the greatest, but, and we used to have a meeting once a week to talk about what we're going to do, but we might as well talk about that right now here, too. Because we did do the How to Be a Game Master one, and nobody showed up. Well, one person sat through it. We did a dry run. It looks like it's a really good program setup, a little bit longer than I thought for a workshop. Me and Richard have talked about running it online or possibly offering it online, but we've got some feedback for the next miniatures painting one. People are looking forward to that one. I'm trying to think of some other things, though. But
yeah, I saw my miniature that I want to finish painting. Yeah. What are our other events coming up now that we're ending February?
We have Car Wars Miniatures on the 5th and Fandom Jeopardy on the 21st or 22nd.
And another Oops Journal one, too.
No, we don't
now that we actually have our Oops Journal. Right?
I saw one on the wall down there.
Okay.
Was it the one from before?
No, I think it was for March. Oh, yeah, by the way, Oops Journal, now available for anybody who's watching through here. Give us a 13-word phrase for something or other, and maybe you'll get a free Oops Journal. They'd have to watch it till like the middle of nowhere and hear that one line that I just said. And then they'd have to literally type in 13-word phrase. I don't think it was to listen to that long of a sentence to actually figure that out.
No.
I don't see it on their thing. I'm going through each
Yeah,
of
I'm
them.
Okay.
looking through trying to find it. But
maybe it was a holdover from last month's, but I do have somebody who said that if you did it again, they'd try to make it down. Because they were the one person who suddenly had a babysitter and decided that a date night was better than coming and listening to us talk about failures. So that was a failure to follow through for us, but it probably was a success for them. I'm edging on that one. There is that. But what can we do to... So we're having to cut back on some of the expenditures. We went to Substack.
Oh, no, you're right.
So-
Okay, I lied. As soon as you say that, I found it. For some reason, it's on Saturday the 14th.
There you go.
no,
From
What
when to
time?
when?
because
And she didn't change the price on it.
so it won't include the actual book.
Yeah.
What's it
And
was-
during the day, Saturday the 14th from 11:30 to 2:30.
I'm at Festival of Books on the 14th at 10:30 for sure. I have a performance at 10:30, so
You're going
We
take
might
our
need to
book
change
with
that
you.
one.
You're going to take the book with you to Festival of Books. See?
good. But I have like a performance thing. I can't sell the book during my performance.
What performance are you doing?
I sing with Tucson Masterworks Chorale, and we are doing a national parks themed thing for the 250th anniversary of our country. So we are singing 4 of our national parks songs that our director wrote. And I don't remember which ones we're singing, but I know we're singing Grand Canyon and Saguaro because those are the 2 parks that are in our state and pretty much the only 2 songs right now that we have down. So
No.
I know we're singing
I
those 2.
would say that may make it so that we have more people show up than we expect when we're totally not prepared and we're missing people.
Yeah.
That could do
That
it.
might
Oh,
happen.
that might be a driving force and everything.
We have
So,
the Oops Journal afternoon that maybe we'll do or not or something.
you can always replace it with something else. Is it come after the Car Wars one?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we'll see if we have Car Wars people turn out, and if we do, we can lead it over to something else. Oops, I mispainted a miniature. Oops, I drove into your car. You know, there's all sorts of stuff we can... How to use an Oops journal in a gaming context. So, the kid has said that the kid is going to start live streaming games, single games where they just play, like Iron Lung. I got the kid a copy of Iron Lung after we went to the movie, which was an awesome movie, by the way. The kid says that they'll stream them and start doing it like on Mondays for hours, so like a live stream for a couple hours. So that's something. That might... Somebody told me that if I sit and do things with Legos, maybe I should schedule it. Man, that looks intense. Did you see that? Got the whole hand jab and everything on it, you know?
I was thinking if we did something that involved like food or I don't know. Doing it at Poppin' Off, I love the store. I love the people. But maybe we need to be somewhere that's more like a bar. I don't know.
Well, you guys can find some of the bars that... And anyway, so that's why I think he really shouldn't be... Oh, wait, he's back. Okay, let's not talk about him anymore.
Sorry about that, guys. What were you saying about me?
Oh, we were just talking about how it looks pretty intense there.
I realized that I double booked myself for substituting tomorrow, one in Moorcroft and one in Spearfish, which
Oops.
are an hour apart from each other and completely overlapping.
Oh, well,
Oops.
that is important to focus on. And
Yeah,
we here
yeah.
at the Cult of Brighter Days don't
Yeah.
really care about our live stream because nobody watches it anyway.
So,
It'll be a good little 45-second clip where we just make fun of him on the phone because he can't hear us. That's a good 45 seconds done for the day. That's why people watch these things, supposedly. I mean, like, a lot of people, they watch, like, the live streams because of how stupid people are, or when they do stupid stuff, or when they do like ridiculous stuff. I mean, most of our
Well,
conversation.
that's what we can start doing. We can start doing like the hot sauce stupid stuff and the,
Well, we tried the mukbang thing, but that didn't work out that well. We didn't do a large quantity of it though, so I guess maybe if we get the kid more food and everything, or maybe we can all pick something to bring to the table. Dinner.
I'm good with that.
A dinner conversation with the Cult of Brighter Days. Next Tuesday, we all bring our dinner with us. And we can eat our dinner while we have
trying
it.
to cram it down before we start filming.
You were mukbanging it
2 weeks ago.
Last week I came on, I was all laggy. And I was trying to eat my dinner before my other meeting.
Yes, that's what I said.
6:30. That's it.
The week before that, the kid was mukbanging. Sarah was mukbanging. Like I said, if we're going to try it, we should just all do it. Just everybody bring their dinner.
So people watch these because of some silly gimmick or whatever. But why do people meet in public? Why do people actually leave their house and go meet someone?
I think so few people do now. They're so compartmentalized into their little bubbles, and they don't get out and don't form those communities. And our national mental health has been suffering because of that.
Well, and that's why we made this community in the first place. And we just haven't made enough connections with the people who are down there at the events to make them so that they'll come back to the margarita and the pool. Because we don't have the margarita and pool to attract people back to. If we have the margaritas in the pool, then people will get attracted back to it. I did make a connection with the person down there who does a lot of their 3D printing, and the person who did the 3D printing for those figures. And since I do have all the 3D models for the cars, for Car Wars, I can get some of those models to her, then she can print them out, and then we can sell them before the paint session, which would possibly attract more people to the painting sessions because we'll have the cars on display before then. So I got to take some of those down there, this week, some of those models down, see if they can print some up. And you
would think that the target demographic for popping off would be really meeting groups and community that's supportive.
Well, and I get that feeling because, like, when we were in there doing the Game Master session, there was 2 people that were in there that weren't in the session that were hovering the entire time. And one of them came over towards the end and did it. But that was like, was it because it cost money, or was it because they didn't know what it was really about? Or was it because there wasn't any advertisement for it? Because I realized that their advertisement is in store when we probably should have had flyers up at Bookman's and some of the other places in town.
And I think we need to do more of the videos that Just did for the couple events that we did. But that's...
Yeah.
I agree. If we're going to continue with that, we definitely should do that. We have reduced some costs. Now that we have the Substack and everything, we're not using the WordPress site for our articles. So the cost of that program we use to publish those things on a daily basis went away. We have had a problem with the AI and ethics wandering into everything right now. And then I went down a big rabbit hole on AI this last week, and now I'm like, I don't even know if I want to be associated with it in any way, shape, or form, but we rely on it so much. This world is getting messy.
But yeah, I think, we have to continue to own the fact that we are struggling to figure out how to form a better community and a safe place for all of our followers out there.
The point of the matter is it's like, we're having the same problem at work when we talk about communities of practice and things like that. And we're like, it's hard to keep anything like this together or going or anything like that. Right now, surprisingly, we are at 3,024 subscribers right now, but we don't have enough views and enough likes to really make it worthwhile and everything. It's not about having 2,000 subscribers.
It's about having 2,000 engagements.
It's about having 200 people that constantly watch you. So we have 3,000 subscribers out there. How do we convert, 10% of those, 300 of those people, to people who always come back and watch, or people who come and have conversations, or show up at live streams, or do things like that? What do we do?
Come to events or find a community.
Come to events. How many of those people are in Tucson? Well, we don't know how many. It'd be better if we had 50 people with us here in person subscribing to the channel than 3,000 subscribers to the channel. Keep doing this stuff to spread it out further, but we really need to have that small group in-house. And we've got, 12, 13, 14 people when you total them all up? But we really should be hitting...
We need more.
This is about a year. We've been doing this for about a year. And we actually have built a pretty good infrastructure up underneath us for the year. We have a website that's not falling apart. We have a Substack that is actually being worked on. We have a video development pipeline. We just lack people to help do all the stuff that we put in place. I mean, all the stuff's there. We just need the people to help put it in place and help make it work right. Whether they're here locally in Tucson or whether they're remote and helping us locally, however it is. Are we going to keep the lights on? Yeah, I think we should probably keep the lights on for another year. Doesn't hurt. Get past another summer of margaritas in the pool.
Yeah.
We can time accordingly, and then we can come back and look. We've got the book that nobody's bothered to read except Dr. Jess for the foundational Absurdist. For the yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't
right.
I'm supposed to read that and make notes.
I don't even know if Richard even noticed it up there.
Noticed what?
Exactly. That's my point. Jesus. The book on Absurdism?
Oh, no, I didn't notice.
Yeah, the book is up there. The foundational book is up there. It's been up there for 3 weeks. You guys haven't read it yet.
I did.
I finally whined to Dr. Jess 2 weeks after I put it up there, and then she read it and said, "Oh, this is crap," and then gave me a ton of notes. So...
Have you made those notes yet?
No, I haven't made the notes. I want to see what other people say, too.
I think you should make those notes, and then I'll read it.
I think that's an excuse to avoid reading it, honestly.
For the record, I got 3/4 of the way through, and I said, the rest of this is trash. Don't just go back and fix what I said, and you'll be fine. Don't even... The last quarters, no. Right?
L. Ron Hubbard never had to put up with this shit. I just want to let you guys know that, okay? L. Ron Hubbard didn't put up with this shit at all, okay?
Yeah, and have you read his books?
Doesn't matter. He still made enough money to buy a frickin' island. That's all that matters.
Ugh.
See, now that sounds bad when I say I want that, doesn't it? Now I gotta come up with a new thing. I thought a beach house was bad enough, but now I can't even say island because that just sounds creepy no matter what. Great.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Mr. Epstein. Fucking prickwad.
Rich men have been ruining islands for all of us aspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Especially cult and island now. That is definitely not a good mix. So
no.
Let's just go with a Winnebago. Can we just go, I want a Winnebago that I could live in that's on a beach? Is that good enough? Is that
so okay? Now we're doing a van down by the river for you?
Basically, yeah.
That's what we're raising money for?
It has to be one of those Winnebago like motorhomes like Clarence Thomas got.
So
on the beach. I want to. Have you seen that thing he got? Did you see the
for his bride?
Oh my god! I want that on a beach. You guys could just park me out there, and I'd be fine for the rest of my life.
Okay, so where is our hope for this world this week? As we wrap up,
we have no hope for this world.
I have a story about cults and Winnebagos.
Oh, is it going to ruin my whole Winnebago thing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You remember the story of me going to Los Angeles to try out for Jeopardy back in
Yeah.
'88. And so one of the things that happened on that trip, because I was there for about a week, mostly just kind of bopping around Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I was on Hollywood Boulevard and I get approached by this woman who wants to talk to me about CARP, which stands for the Collegiate Association for the Research of the Principal. And they were trying to get people from Hollywood Boulevard to go down to their van or bus or something. Maybe, I think it was a Winnebago, actually, or some kind of RV at the Chinese Theater to go down to the beach and talk about CARP. And I made an excuse and got away and everything was fine. And then I was standing in line to see Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade again. And the same woman comes up with another guy with her. And this time she's got some paraphernalia to hand out. I go flipping through it. I discover it's the son of the Reverend Sun Myung Moon. And so I said, "Oh, this is the Unification Church." And she says, "Oh, yeah, you've heard of us?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, some people call us Moonies." And I said, "I was aware." So I avoided joining the Moonies by not going in the Winnebago.
Was that a good call, though, now that you've seen how everything shapes out in this world?
Yeah, I could have been checked out a long time ago.
Might have been much better right now. If you look around. Oh, Girls at the Slime Bowl-orama. I could have seen that on the big screen and I missed it on Monday.
Breaks my heart that I missed that.
I was sick last night. I couldn't go. Or no, what day is today?
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
It was last night. I knew I was not feeling good because I missed that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is this Thursday, though. Anyway, so that's about all I got. What's your final words for today, Dr. Jess?
I'm glad I wasn't watching the State of the Union because that would have been worse than this.
I don't even know how to take
It's
that.
pretty bad, though.
Step Pope, do you want to...
I'm probably going to play Valheim. Trolls and Grey Dwarfs are a lot less traumatizing.
That's your hope
Yeah.
words for the world today?
Yeah, play games.
Go play games.
Have fun.
Go play games. Okay, Bishop Sir, what's yours?
Stay safe. Don't turn the State of the Union into a drinking game because that's going to be bad for all. In
True.
hugely and bigly and beautiful ways.
Definitely. And I'm Michael Anderson, Henderson Dorland, and I'm saying carbuncle, and have a great day.